Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome to our consumer seminar today. It is truly a pleasure to have you to join us. Allow me to introduce our speaker today, Ryner Koh, a remarkable individual whose journey from humble beginning in a two-room HD rental flat has been nothing short of inspirational. Driven by the desire to escape poverty, Ryner embarked on a relentless pursuit of financial literacy. His dedication led him to achieve outstanding results, earning top band grading in all investment topic categories of the CFA Level 1 exam. Ryner's exceptional performance earned him the prestigious FTC CFA scholarship to complete CFA Level 2 and 3. For those who may not be familiar, the CFA or Chartered Financial Analysis is the equivalent of a postgraduate degree in finance with challenging exams, boasting pass rate below 50%. Remarkably, Ryner completed all levels in a single sitting. Prior to his CFA achievement, Ryner had already established strong academic foundation in real estate, graduating with honors in real estate management from NUS. What truly sets Ryner apart in his ability to demystify complex investment theories, making them accessible and applicable in everyday life. His valuable insights from data statistics is invaluable for prudent investment decisions. Ryner's commitment extends beyond theory. He practiced what he preaches, evident to his successful journey as a multiple property owner and investor. His recent acquisition of a freehold semi-detached house in the East, set to be demolished and rebuilt into a 3.5-story, 6,300 square feet home for his family. His real-world approach to asset progression planning. Ryner's expertise has not gone unnoticed. He has been an invited guest on CNA Money Mind and a featured expert in the Straits Times, Me and My Property section. Furthermore, his background in the military, where he served as a commanding officer of an artillery battalion, progressing to a division HQ Army appointment as head of operation, reflect his commitment to leadership and excellence. With Ryner Koh's vast knowledge and practical insights, we are truly in for an enlightening and enrichment seminar. Please join me to welcome Ryner Koh to the virtual stage. Thank you. Over to you, Ryner.
Thank you, Pei Wen. Okay, I'm so excited to see so many of you here today. If you are able to see me, can you type in the chat box, say you type a 1, so that we know that everyone are able to hear me? Okay, great. I know today it is a Friday night and you are still here, shows that all of us are very eager to get to know more about property wealth. So without further ado, today my topic is about 12 compelling reasons why Jayden is the right buy. So I'll start off with a micro picture on the team that's building Jayden, as well as the project itself. And then after the micro factors, right, I will zoom from bullet point number 3 all the way to 13, the macro factors on why we feel that Jayden is the right buy. So if we analyze Jayden, the first compelling reason is when we studied the team, right, we realized one interesting fact. It is actually going to be designed and built by award-winning team. So who are they? Number one is the award-winning developer. So this is CapitaLand, award-winning developer. As you can see from this list, is a long list of awards from CapitaLand. And the awards on the right, and one of the very prestigious awards, the FIACI World Prince Excellence Awards, are also one of the awards that's being won by the CapitaLand. So we have a very strong developer with very strong track record that actually developed this Jayden. As you can see, these are some of the showcase of the project, like One Pearl Bank, Canning Hill Pills, Sengkang Grand, Deliden. So in addition to that, it is also being designed by this, we call it an award-winning architect, Sabana Jurong Consultant Private Limited. So these are the awards that you can see from my left all the way to the right. So there are numerous awards that's being won by this consultant. And one being the FIACI World Prince Excellence Award 2018 as well. So we got this very strong team that is designing this Jayden. And these are some of the showcase from this Jurong Consultant Private Limited. And not only that, even all the way down to the landscaping. Okay, we also got this award-winning landscaping called Cohen Design International Design Private Limited. So as you can see from here, these are some of the showcases: Treehouse, Dines, as well as North Point City. And last but not least, very importantly, the main builder. Okay, main builder is Wohab Holding Private Limited. So you look at the awards that this builder won, right, is amazing. 588. Why showing this part of the story is important? Because it actually gave us the confidence of the quality of the final product. That one, when we invested, right, we have that assurance and confidence that we'll get a very quality product. So that is the first one compelling reason why Jayden is the right buy. So as you can see from here, these are some of the showcase of this Wohab track record, ranging from, these are the few project that you see from this images here. Well Hill Residence, Pasir Ris 8. Point number 2, I'm zooming deep into the micro picture, which is the, we call it the design inspiration of this award-winning project. So as you can see from this particular slides here, let me go into, shift this bar a little. Okay, a picture speaks 1,000 words. It is going to be a majestic tower, towering all the way up to the 40th floor. All right, and it is slated, as you can see from here, Green Mark Platinum Award. So in short, this building, right, is going to be very sustainable for residents. Energy is energy efficiency. As you can see from all this, the material that is going to be building Jayden is going to be also very sustainable. I'm going to share with you more. As you can see from this particular slides here, in terms of architectural, residents will get to enjoy natural ventilations, low maintenance of, we call it material selection. In short, your electricity bill will be low. And landscaping, we have a provision of about 85,000 square foot of landscaping and accessible planted sky terraces. Energy saving is approximately 55%, and all the materials that's being used, right, are carefully selected to be sustainable. Not only that, it is also a smart home, so residents can really enjoy everything at the tips of that, we call it fingertips, okay, using a mobile phone. And even all the way right to the residents' basic use, like sensor wash, okay, sensor wash, all the way down to the bath routine, okay, it's all well taken care of. So location of Jayden is amazing. As you can see from this particular green circle here, Jayden location, it is very well connected to the MRT with 4 MRT line. As you can see from this perspective here, it is right at the heart of JLD. We call it Jurong Lake District Transformation. It is at the very epicenter of that very location. It is the second CBD of Singapore. So you got this very unparalleled connectivity. Not only that, as you can see from this particular location here, it is actually very seamlessly connected, okay, to 3 mega mall: Westgate, GEM, IMM. So can you imagine the lifestyle, the convenience staying at Jayden? It's really a short walk. You can reach the huge mega mall, and via J-Walk, the elevated pedestrian network that is very well connected to the development. So the value proposition for Jayden, it is first and tallest mixed-use development in a Jurong Lake District, well connected, seamlessly connected to the future Jurong East Integrated Transport Hub that offers a huge connection to the major hubs. And later I'm going to spend a little bit more time to share with you. It is actually a non-PPVC. In short, if you look at the layout, it is not only functional, it is also very easily custom made to suit the residents' different needs. transformation growth potential. Later, I'm going to show you case studies on what is the effect of transformation on property price. And last but not least, bespoke unit provision. The home features that Capital Land, the award-winning team, provided is amazing. Is to cater for the various needs and space, elevating the standards of living for all the residents within Jayden. So inspiration, Jayden. Why the name is called Jayden? Okay, it is a combination of these two important. One, as you can see from here, Jayden, Jurong Lake District, all right, plus a endemic landscape. So imagine this, the whole Jurong Lake District plus the huge garden landscaping with huge opportunities. So that's why they combine this theme and why the name Jayden. So it's an amazing name. It's an amazing name where all the things, where everything comes together. All right, everything comes together. So a picture speaks 1,000 words. You get to see everything. What are the everythings? The nature, the opportunity, the connectivity, the lifestyle, the birds, the bondings with the kids, the mall, the foods, the gym, the wellness. So everything comes together because everything's are within reach, within Jayden. So that is that very idea, the inspiration behind this name. So let's zoom deep into the architectural concept inspiration. So as you can see from this Jayden, as you can see my cursor here, if you look within the 0.5 click radius all the way out, it is a combination of many gardens. Okay, Japanese garden, Chinese garden, Jurong Lake Gardens, floating wetlands, and Taman Jurong Park. So these are all the natures that surrounding Jayden. So the inspiration comes from all this beautiful landscaping. The nature landscaping, you saw the blue color line, my cursor here, and also the green curvature line here. So the architectural and the landscape concept were inspired by this very Jurong Lake garden, the very large nature, like a meandering water edge. Okay, so we later get to see the inspiration of all this water edge, nature, curvature of the blue and the green. So they actually superimpose, okay, the blue cursor here, as you can see, Jurong Lake, inspired by the Jurong Lake. You see the contours, the parameters, and superimpose it into that very, we call it Jayden landside, to gain that inspiration, to bring the whole Jurong Lake feel into Jayden. As you can see, not only that, they also studied the woods and the stones, the texture, all right, the texture. They want to bring that nature into Jayden as well. They want to harmonize the nature, okay, with the urban, iconic 40th story, beautiful tower. So that when residents stay in it, right, they can already enjoy that kind of natural feel in a very few-dimensional way. Not just the landscaping part, but also the textures, the feel. So these textures, the feel are all being inspired when they start to design about this Jayden. So you can see from the vertical facade orders, the podium is designed with a simplified curved facade so that it can actually stand that very language of nature, okay, to let residents feel when they go into this particular Jayden, right, they can feel that they're getting out of the bustling city. So as you can see from here, even all the way down to the facade articulation, okay, the way they orientate, remember, a Green Mark Platinum Award doesn't come easily. So for every small little details, like the orientation of the tower, the majestic 40th story tower, they do in a way that it must be gaining a good, we call it well cross ventilation. And all the units are facing towards the north-south orientation, as you can see from this blue arrow line here. And they also painstakingly ensure that the corner units, as you can see from this corner unit, mainly comprising the 3 bedrooms and premium units. The corner units, you'll be able to get maximum view, light and air, as you can see from this arrow here. And the vertical expression of the facade, remember the stones and the woods, the textures, they want to bring in the textures as well, okay, into this particular third picture here, on this particular vertical brown, as you can see from here. And finally, that's where they bring the whole garden landscaping. So we want to maximize the whole greenery within the whole Jadon area by bringing it to the deck area as well as the 24th floor, we call it area here for residents to also enjoy a high view with a garden view within this tower itself. So these are some of the thought process and the inspiration behind Jadon's design. And looking towards the north, that is the amazing view from 40th floor. If you go into this south view, you get to see this amazing, beautiful panoramic views. North-south orientation. And zoom into the context of the site. You can see the site. This is the site of Jadon. Okay, this is the 40th floor Majestic Tower. The setback are luxurious. So from one point to another point to Jurong East MRT station, very walkable. It's about 152 meters, but wide enough for you to minimize the noise. 152 meters is approximately 3 times 50 meter pool. So you can imagine it's really quite a good buffer to make sure that residents enjoy very minimum noise from the MRT, yet enjoy the convenience of MRT. And from this point to the next commercial 4-story building, it also has a good buffer of 56 meters. So it is well spread in terms of the setback. So Jadon, as you can see from here, total there's only 360 units, very low density for you to enjoy, very low density. And it comprises 1 bedroom plus study, 2 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 2 bedroom plus study, 3 bedroom, 3 bedroom plus study premium. And the 4 bedrooms. So total 368 units, ranging from 527 square foot all the way to 1485 square foot. So these are the stack from the Jadon Tower. Generally, as a guide, you can see that the big units are all at the corners. Remember the big units, the way the architect designed it, you get a maximum view from both sides. Okay, for the 3 bedrooms, generally the corner units, you get to enjoy nice maximum view, light and wind. And generally in the centers are all the smaller units. The 1 bedrooms, the 1 plus study, the 2 plus study, as well as the 2 bedrooms. Accessibility. Okay, as you can see from this accessibility, this is the pedestrian and vehicle access. Pedestrian and vehicle access. The yellow color here, the yellow color arrow, it has a very private residential ingress and outgress. Private as in it is actually different, separated from the commercial. So this is something that is very important. Security, privacy. So this is differentiated. And if you look at the brown arrow here, the brown arrow, it is the pedestrian network, very well connected. All the residents, you'll be able to walk through the J-Walk link all the way to the neighboring commercial amenities. Not only that, you can also walk to Jurong East MRT as well via the J Gateway, because it's a pedestrian, very well connected pedestrian network circulated within the whole of Jadon area. As you can see from all this different point, very well connected. This is the 2nd floor commercial and J-Walk. And from this J-Walk connection, you go to the MRT station. From this, provision of knockout panel for future connection to the neighbors' developments. And this is another provision as well. And in fact, it is well connected to the next, later I'll touch on in the transformational sites. to the next mega 6.5 hectare of white site. So generally in layman, it's very well connected via the J-walk. If you study the car park access from B1, B2, and B3, B1 car park reserved for commercial, separated from the residential. So it's very well thought of to provide that kind of privacy. For basement 2 and basement 3 are where the residential car park are. So for residential car park, residential tower leave access to every floor except level 2 for privacy and security. So that residents, right? So that level 2, remember, is where the J-walk is. So that is where level 2, we call it level 2, the J-walk, the area, that heavy traffic, okay, they will not be able to just access to the residential tower lift. This concept provide not only the privacy and security, at the same time, right, the developer also give the convenience on this lift side here, the lift access here, for residents who wanted to go to level 2, it is still within very easy reach. So it gives that privacy and also that convenience to residents. So these are all the small little details from the inspiration of the design. Okay, that they are properly well thought of, okay, to think in terms of the resident daily rituals, their daily way of living within the developments. So in short, remember, B1 commercial, B2, B3 residential car park. And the units finishes. A picture speaks 1,000 words. This is just a snapshot. So the agents who invited you to the Jayden, definitely you must go and take a look. It's beautiful, it's futuristic, it's an amazing design. This is the 2-bedroom plus study, very functional layout. For more details, you can get from your agent. It is a dumbbell layout, as you can see from here, very nicely done up. It is an 818 square foot unit. As you enter from here, there's one master bedroom with a study. So there's a flexibility for you to custom it. Remember, one of the key plus point that you can actually custom it. We'll show you on the other slides. So on the right is a common room with a attached. So you can see this this particular door here. You'll be able to come over from this bathroom side and show you from this particular futuristic custom-made slides here. So as you can see from here, right, you can actually custom it in a way that you can see from this particular yellow box, a master with a study if you wanted to. So that is that flexibility, you can do so if you want to. And not only that, you can, this is the original layout. If you see from this particular small little square here, that is the original layout when it isn't combined yet. So this one, you got the flexibility to combine if you wanted to. This is for the 2-bedroom plus study. Okay, the 3-bedroom is very interesting because you have the benefit of this particular kitchen that is seamlessly connected to this balcony where they can double it as an alfresco dining. So it's a very functional, very functional layout, especially for those who like to entertain guests, for those who wanted an extension area from the kitchen. This is a very nice 3-bedroom, 1141 square foot. And that is the very concept, the cozy plus neutral plus sophisticated 3-bedroom. This is something that is very exciting, the 4-bedroom that comes with a private lift. For this particular 4 bedrooms, right, you can have 3 types of customization, right? Let me share with you the customization later. And as you can see from here, this private lift, when you come out from this particular private lift, if you turn to the right, you got a very huge functional kitchen area with a very nicely done up center island. All the common room you're able to fit queen size bed, okay, like the 3 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, as well as 1 bedroom. On the master bedroom, you'll be able to fit the king size bed. So as you can see, this is the typical layout of that 4 bedrooms. But how do you custom it if you so decided to, depending on your lifestyle? So if you are someone who wants a bigger, we call it master bedroom, okay, very luxe master bedroom. So you can actually knock one of the wall away and you combine this whole square here. And the show flat, you get to see this particular layout. So you basically combine one of the common room with your master bedroom. It becomes a mega, very luxurious size master. So as you can see on my left perspective, that is the elegant style, if you so decided to do that. If you look at my cursor, that is where this is the original layout. This is the original layout. So if you want to custom it, this part, when you take out the wall from this part, it become a mega master bedroom. So depending on the individuals. So this is the 3D, okay, the 3D, one of the 3D dimension. So the Jaden's layout provide extensive opportunity for you to really custom it. And this is what we call the entertainer. Let's say, for example, for someone who likes to entertain, that is where you combine the common room here with the living room, because this is someone that likes to entertain. So if you like to entertain, you wanted a more space for your friends, for your relative to mingle around this whole area here. You can do up this customization. The next one is for the so-called the dreamer. So you can actually merge the 2 common rooms to become a mega single space. So you know, children, okay, they may be very creative. They wanted to do that as a hobby. So it's like a dreamer room. So you got 3 concepts. One, a super mega master bedroom. One, a very big mega dream room for the kids. And last but not least, the entertainment. You can actually combine to have a very huge, comfortable size living room. So you got all this flexibility. Okay, that is the fashionista that you see earlier on. Okay, the super mega master bedroom. So not only that it is very customizable for the functional layout, okay, the provisions are bespoke. Okay, it's very carefully selected. Okay, very carefully selected. So share with you, very interesting, the 1 bedroom and the 2 bedrooms. The 1 bedroom and the 2 bedrooms, right, it comes with very innovative induction hook concealed under the countertop. Okay, so it's almost concealed. You thought you thought that it is a just a countertop, but actually it is actually an induction hob. All right, so it's this only for the 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom. That's why it's a bespoke provision. Okay, bespoke provision. You don't get to see all this in a typical development. And for the 4 bedroom, right, a very tastefully distinctive island. You know, like a big landed property usually got this island to entertain the guests. Island kitchen countertop. And in addition to that, for the 3 and the 4 bedroom, right, it comes with an integrated filtered water kitchen tap as well. Filter function for pure drinking water. Okay, pure drinking water. And last but not least, remember the sensor all the way down to the, we call it the intelligent home. Okay, you got a smart toilet bidet, as well as complete with a remote and app. You can use either the remote or the app. So that's for the master bathroom. Okay, for the 3 bedrooms and for the 4 bedroom. So that is the reason why it is bespoke provisions. Very unique. And they also come with a very quality air conditioner and fan provision. Haiku provided for all the living rooms, okay, all the living rooms, and as well as the Mitsubishi electric air conditioner. Electrolux for the 1 bedrooms and the 2 bedrooms, plus all the way to the 2 bedroom plus steady. Grohe, Blanco. From this perspective, you'll be able to see this is where you see just a 2 line here, very thin line. All right, that is that concealed induction hob. Okay, the plus point about this is it really gives you more space. So when you're not cooking, right, for the 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom, you can just dub it as a normal storage, okay, normal tabletop, normal countertop. So it's very, very design, we call it bespoke, very nice. And for the 3 bedroom plus study premium, you get to see the Miele, okay, the Miele quality provisions, kitchen appliances, sink mixer with filter function. So that is the difference compared to the 1 and the 2 bedroom and the 2 bedroom plus study. How about the 4 bedroom premium? 4 bedroom premium also Miele. The 4 bedroom come with washer, dryer. Here's the premium unit. So you got 2 washer, dryer, and the rest Grohe, Blanco. Likewise, for this sink mixer is also provided for. How about the fittings? Duravit, Grohe, Tech, and for the master bathroom, as you can see from here, that is the sensor wash that we mentioned earlier on, that you can actually control via the we call it the apps, or you can use the, we call it the not just your handphone app, but also a remote if you want to. So in addition to the architectural design inspiration, next we want to zoom a little bit into the landscape design concept inspiration. So remember, the inspiration comes from the Jurong Lake District. If you recall back, a picture speaks 1,000 words. So that's where the architect, okay, start to take all the photos, putting all these very nice photos, putting it together. And you can see this meandering contours here, the meandering contours, families walking within the contours, some doing like exercises. So they wanted to bring all this, want to bring the garden, they want to bring that kind of feel, okay, into Jadon itself. So Jadon is not just an urban, iconic tower. It is also a tower that's having that very soft touch, okay, where every good things comes together. So as you can see from this perspective, from the tops, the bird's eyes view, okay, as you can see from the blue contours, the water bodies, and also the green contours. So coming into this contours, they take out the schematic. So I want you to just imagine a little the concept design. They take out the schematic. So they take this schematic out, as you can see my cursor here. The overall landscaping inspired from this Jurong Lake Garden. The schematic, generally the inspiration, the island, we call it the island in the middle of the lake, okay, stands out. So that very idea, okay, is very nature inspired. Very nature inspired, where all the families can bond together. So that is the very, very idea, the theme, okay, to make sure that this stands out. So they superimpose this whole thing, as you can see from here. They superimpose this whole thing into the side, into the land side. You see, into the land side. So you can see the green contour here and also the blue contour here, so that the lifestyle is being brought over to Jadon, very beautifully done up, and the comprehensive facilities work around that inspiration, ranging from courtyard, lake walk, garden, 50-meter lake pool, all the way down to the nature playground, okay, nature playground, chill out deck, barber pool, lazy river. Remember the contour, as you can see from the contour that's being superimposed, the lazy river. So all these facilities are all being put up onto their level 3. So it's very painstakingly done up into the whole area here. So generally, gyms provided for, 50-meter pool provided for, multi-purpose room provided for, a super comprehensive development with only 368 units. So as you can see from this, a picture speaks 1,000 words. You can already feel, right? Because it's inspired by Jurong, we call it Jurong Lake itself. The garden feel, you can already feel, just looking at this whole perspective here. You're like within a garden, okay? Can see that very perspective here. The lazy river, okay, surrounded with all the greenery. The greenery blended together, blended harmoniously with the towering, majestic tower on the right. So next perspective, as you can see from this 50-meter lap pool, Okay, 50-meter lap pool with a contour surrounded by greenery before the towering tower. That is the night perspective. While you can enjoy a good gym, you can enjoy a very nice, good gym while overlooking a nice pool view. And that is that very 24th floor sky terrace. So remember earlier on the perspective I showed you. Okay, the greenery, the maximization of the greenery is not just at the level 3, but also bring all the way up to the sky. So at the sky, you got the viewing decks. As you can see, this family couple looking at the viewing decks. So there's also a garden lounge area, a fresco pot. Saw this fresco pot over here. A fresco dining. So you can enjoy dining, views, do a little bit of, we call it a elopement garden planting. So this is that kind of lifestyle, okay, that is going to be brought to the residents of that 368 families only. And that is a very amazing panoramic views, sky terraces at the 24th floor. So it's combining the two architectural design as well as the landscaping design from this award-winning architect and award-winning landscape consultant. That whole inspiration, the whole life of that nature blended with urban iconic tower are being brought together. So that is that very feel, okay, very feeling, very amazing feeling that the architect inspired to bring to the residents for this 368 family within Jayden itself. So quality product from looking at the design of the award-winning team. The next thing we want to share with you is the transformation story. Okay, I still remember when I bought my very first property. Okay, I'm one of the beneficiary of this transformation. If you are someone who believe in the government, okay, generally I believe in the government. Whatever they say, they will plan something. In Singapore context, yep, so far so good. Whatever they say something, they really do something. So let's take a look at this big picture on what is going to happen in this Jurong Lake District. So as you can see from here, let me move the cursor a little bit. Jurong Lake District is going to be the Singapore largest mixed-use, okay, it's a mixed-use business district outside city center. It is in short the second CBD. Okay, it's very exciting, second CBD. So if you look at this particular slides here, to put in perspective, Woodland Central is about 70,000 square meter. Jurong Lake District is about 200,000 square meter currently. So you're at a baby stage of transformation based on purely the existing development versus the plan. The plan is 1.4 million. Can you see the big circle here? There's an even big circle here that is referring to the CBD. The downtown core, 5.2 million. So 1.4 million is the second largest CBD based on the planning. So as you can see, regional, for those who stay in the east, happen to stay in the east, the Tampines Regional Center is only 130,000 square meter. And the Palembang Center is about 200,000 square meter, which is almost equivalent to our Jurong Lake District currently. But the potential for Jurong Lake District is planned for is 1.4 million. So that's the big picture. So you're buying at this stage. So if you believe in the story, you're buying at this stage based on the planning. So if you look at this timeline here, you are actually at 2023, where the launch of the JLD Innovation Challenge is, where the launch of a large mixed-use master developer site is. So of course, in 2024, that's where the completion of the rejuvenation of Chinese garden and Japanese garden. And in 2027, Jurong East Integrated Transport Hub and also the new Science Center. 2028, Jurong Regional Line Stage 2. And last but not least, in 2030s onward, the Cross Island Line 2. These are all in place, all right? And if everything, very unforeseen circumstances, this will be all the things that's been planned for within this Jurong Lake District. So is government, why government want to do this? Government mentioned, okay, they have a very high ambition in this whole Jurong Lake District, because they wanted to make it not just big, but also very, very sustainable. How sustainable? How big? Is as big as 6.5 hectare. That is a very, very huge land that they can house. It aims to house approximately 1,700 dwelling units. There will be 146,000 square meter office space, and also 73,000 square meter of gross floor area for retail, commercial, restaurant, entertainment, hotel, community, or office use. Okay, just think in terms of 1,700 dwelling units. So these are all the potential home that will be coming. And just imagine you are now at a very early stage. You are almost like a first mover advantage, because we believe homes in Singapore in the longer term, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, if we believe in the Singapore government, we know that the price will increase. Why is that so? Because generally, everything will become more expensive. Labor costs, construction costs. So we are at a very beginning stage, okay? The first mover advantage at this stage. And looking at the office space that you see here, one thing that actually triggers us is the potentiality of a very ready tenant pool for potential investor who decided, okay, to own a unit in this Jurong Lake District, or we call it the second CBD. So that is that kind of potential that's all being planned for already. Okay, all being planned for. 6.5 hectares of white site, okay, which is well connected to Jayden. So that is that very perspective. You see, is the integrated transport hub that will feature a 27th floor of a tower block connected to Skybridge to a 8-story podium. It will comprise community, civic institution, as well as office tower and a bus interchange. Okay, bus interchange and a Jurong regional line. So Jayden, right? Okay, Jayden, as you can see from the picture here, the map here, Jayden is very near to this Jurong integrated transport hub. So on location analysis, you realize that Jayden is not just at the heart of the second CBD. Okay, it is also very well connected to the Jurong East integrated transport hub. Okay, this is a very important term where they can enjoy all the amenities within a short span of few minutes walk. So that is the kind of important. Why is that so? Because for investors who subsequently decided to rent, very easy to rent. Later I'll show you some case study to why it is easy to rent. Not I say, generally we got the benefit of data. So in short, the largest mixed-use business and world-class sustainability district just outside the city center, the second CBD. So this is the recap from 2023. You're now at 2023. You're at a very early stage of transformation. And if you hold for 5, 10 years, if you believe the transformation story, transformation equals potential upside for price appreciation. How many of you believe, before I show you any statistic, okay, that we draw from the URA, raw data, okay, as a show of hand, go into the chat box. If you don't believe, you just say you don't believe. But if you believe, you just say that you believe. Okay. Okay. For someone who believe, you key a 2, deliberate key a 2, that you believe that transformation will bring along price appreciation. If you believe, you put 2. If you don't believe, you put 0. That means transformation will not bring price appreciation. If you believe, you put 2. Thank you so much for all the audience here. Okay. When you reply 2, right? Can you do it? Can you do me a favor? You send to everyone so that everyone get to see your wisdom as well. You send to everyone. All right. 2 means you believe transformation will bring about price appreciation. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. And like you, okay, also feel that transformation will bring a price appreciation. But I am sometimes very prudent. I want to double check, is it really true? So let's take a look at this in pictorial form before I show you the data form. So as you can see, this is the next phase. This is almost the immediate phase. And in pictorial form, rejuvenation of the Chinese garden and Japanese garden by 2024, which is next year, followed by 2027, 2028. What happened? Jurong East integrated hub, Jurong East, Jurong region line, and 2032, that is where Jurong Lake District Cross Island line. So that one is in pictorial form. In short, there's transformation, right? But the key is transformation effect on price. Is it really true? Let's take a look. Okay, this is the master plan from the URA. If you go to the master plan 2003 and 2014, if you see out the master plan, there's a change, meaning government, by a stroke of pen, right, they decided to do something, decided to transform the area. After a 5-year, 10-year, they will plan something. So in short, if you pair the 2003, 2014 plan and the 2019 plan, right, there are changes. I'll give you an example. So this 2003 master plan, right, as you can see on my left picture here, that plan. Yellow color means what? Means reserved for something, but they didn't say anything in 2003. So in 2019, right, more details are being disseminated. Can you see the same shape? Same shape, but now they indicated that this area, right, will become a white site. Wow, white site. So white site is exciting compared to a reserve site that nothing is being told what they're going to do. Right? White site can be a combination of shopping mall, residential, etc., etc. So there's transformation. So when it's transformation, right, and we do know that if we believe what government promised, they will do. But does this transformation really translate to price appreciation? So let's take a look at all those units that is being bought before the transformation. Okay, the Mayfair, Park Oasis, Ivory Heights, J Gateway. These are generally bought, okay, almost before the huge transformation. All right. So now they are the beneficiary. Okay, they are the beneficiary. Because if you look at the 2013 master plan, this 2003 master plan, that's where they all enter in 2003. Okay, only J Gateway is 2013. All right, 10 years from the 2003. The effect is really positive. You can see from the per square foot 446 to 1105, Park Oasis 371 to become 1101, and the Ivory Heights 255 to become 1013 currently. J Gateway 2013 bought at averagely 1467, now is approximately 1913 per square foot. So conclusion from that very case study, it does shows that transformation equal to positive effect on price as well as price appreciation. So if you look at this line chart here, comprises the Ivory Tower, which is the purple, the green is the Park Oasis, and the black color is the Mayfair, and the shorter line is the J Gateway. In short, if you look at my right table here, it shows transformation lift property price. It's all positive returns. So the key is you must have the holding power, and if you believe in transformation, yes, if you are patient enough, transformation does have the effect. And now looking back again, if you recall, you are at a very early stage of transformation. So you got this opportunity to ride on the transformation wave. The next point, number 4, superior upside potential for mixed-use development. How many of you, a show of hand, all right? A show of hand. Oh yeah, you cannot show your hand here. Huh? Okay, a show of typing a 3. How many, if you believe there is a superior upside potential for mixed use development, mixed use means, for example, got retail and residential and MRT. If you believe, can you type a 3? If you don't believe, also type a 7. Don't believe, type a 7. Believe, type a 3. Thank you everyone for being so interactive, so that I know that I'm not talking to the wall, okay? Because all of you are so energetic. Thank you so much. So as you can see from here, right, I also don't know whether there's really a superior upside for this mixed use development. So I actually go and do a little bit of research. So this research, as you can see from this research, on my left column here, right, are all the mixed use development, ranging from Midtown Modern, Midtown Bay, Canning Hill Piers, the Reserve Residence, Blossom by the Park. So these are Central, City Fringe, and Jayden, the second CBD. So I actually do a little bit of comparison by putting all the retail component now. I realized Jayden got a very huge competitive advantage. Because remember, Jayden is very near to 3 mega malls, which is the IMM, Westgate, the Westgate, as well as the GEM mega malls. So you got approximately 1.4 million of retail space. Can you imagine? You can shop until your hearts scream out. It's amazing feel of it, shopping experiences. So this is something that you need to take note of, the advantage that Jayden has. And in terms of the number of units, you can really see that Jayden is a very healthy density, not very clutter, very good density unit development. So you can already see for this mixed use development, central area, the transacted price per square foot is already hitting 4,000 to 4,007. City Fringe, like Canning Hill Piers, the Reserve, the Blossom, already hitting the transacted price of 2007, 2008, some all the way up to 5,003. And these are all the contract rate. If you look at the take-up rate, right, you realize that generally the take-up rate for all the mixed-use development are high take-up rates, ranging from 55% all the way to 94%. So this is something that we know through the statistic. There's a high demand for mixed-use development. So if you put in further into this bar chart here, these are the bar chart, the gray color, light gray, since launch, the day one launch, the M 73%, Midtown Modern 66, Canning Hill Piers 83, Blossom by the Park 75, Reserve Residences 71, Pasir Ris 86, Lentor Modern 85, Sky Eden 77%. That one is the first day launch. And if you look at now, which is October 2023, all of the take-up rates across the whole Singapore is a healthy level of 78% all the way to as high as close to 99%. So there are not many stock available for mixed-use development. And it also shows from the take-up rate, there's very high demand for people who want to have a piece of this mixed-use development. So bring you back into this Jayden again. From a short walk, you'll be linked to the wide site development. That is amazing. Because the site, 6.5 hectare of the wide site future development is a huge transformation. So it's a walking distance via the J-Walk. And if you walk further up a little bit more, you hit the ITH, Integrated Transport Hub Mixed Development. And not only that, you hit the 3 mega malls. As you can see from this perspective here, that is how convenient Jayden is. And the 1.4 million of retail space, you get to enjoy all these amenities: Kopitiam, Best, Daiso, Giant, Harvey Norman, etc., etc. All these amenities, Giant, within short walk from J-Walk. And to put in that feel, when someone owns a Jayden, right, the shopping experiences that's within their reach is almost 1.4 times larger than VivoCity. How many of you been to, I think I've been to VivoCity many times, okay? So I want you to just imagine this. If someone were to own Jayden, right? Or subsequently or to rent the Jayden out, right? Is the someone who owns the Jayden, they get to benefit to enjoy a 1.4 million or a 1.4 times the size of shopping in VivoCity. That is the huge retail experiences that they can enjoy. And a picture speaks 1,000 words. Looking at all this perspective here, not only that those that can walk via the J Walk connection, like JAM, Westgate, and IMM, within short span of a few MRT stops, you hit the West Mall, Clementi Mall, Jurong East. Let me go into the slides here. Jurong Point, the Star Vista, as well as the Holland Plaza. So not only walking distance, you huge mall, but within a short few stops, you also get to hit other shopping malls. So much of the qualitative side. Let's take a look at the mixed-use development price performance analysis. So this, we actually take out the north, south. You as you can see from here, the west, the east, the northeast, the central, as well as the north, the whole of Singapore. So all the mixed development on the left, the Centuries, Park Place, Campus High, Poise, North Park Residences. One thing very interesting from this whole summary, the West use development has the highest return, okay? 5.8% compounded annual growth rate since launch. One suggestion from this is highly likely because of the second CBD effect, the transformation effect, okay? But the good thing is consistent. It shows that the mixed-use development case studies, right, suggests generally they are all having a healthy return. So in terms of per square foot, it is about 799 per square foot capital appreciation, ranging from North Park is 39392. So the time series, as you can see from here, starts from 2001 to 2023. So we also are careful to take different age of the development so as to make the whole studies a lot more comprehensive. So as you can see from this green line, it is the campus height. The red line is the Centuries, the price performance. On the left, vertical, it is the price per square foot. And this dotted line here is actually referring to the North Park residence. And this black color line referring to Poise. So there's always ups and downs, yes, but the key is having that holding power. Okay, so long you have that holding power, you choose the right time to sell, you gain that upside potential. So let's study even deeper for this mixed-use development versus the nearby properties. So if you start with the Poise residence from this cursor here, Poise residence being the red color, you earn about 503 per square foot since 2015. So given the same time series of 2015 to 2023, you realize this mixed development Poise residence has a superior return, 503 versus Senet, which is the black color line. Purple color line is sort of Series is 462, and last but not least, the green color line, which is the mean residence. It shows a superior return. So this one data point. And the compounded annual growth rate is also the highest, 3.9%. So earlier on is comparing the same time series, but now we are comparing since launch. So even since launch, mixed use development, the data here also suggested they also have a higher, okay, annual growth percentage. So this is for Poise residents. So let's take a look at another, the Centuries. So the Centuries also have shown consistent result. The Centuries, the red color line, as you can see from the red color line, if you look at the same time series from 2006 all the way to 2023, it has the highest per square foot, 799 per square foot, compared to 702 Lake Homes, Park Vista 332, and last but not least, the Lake Point condominium. It got a superior return. in terms of same time. If you go into the compounded annual growth rate per year since launch time, factoring in the different age of the properties, it appears that the mixed-use development also have a superior return. So this guy, the Centuries, earn a 5.8% per year every year, compared to Lake Home 5.1, Lakefront 3, Lake Point, Condominium 2.7, as well as Park Vista 1.9. So that one is the west area. How about the campus height? It shows the consistent result of a mixed-use development as well. In terms of quantum, 624 per square foot since 2001 versus the luxury Rivervale, La Vesta. And if you look at the compounded annual growth rate, is also the most superior at 9% based on the line chart. So per square foot increase since launch is about 624, superior than the nearby properties. As you can see in my cursor, nearby properties. North Park Residences, the red color line, North Park Residences using time series from 2015 to 2023, 392 square foot capital appreciation compared to the nearby properties. Annual compounded returns 3.3%. Also more superior than the nearby properties. And last but not least, Park Place Residences. You probably have been to Park Place Residences. A capital appreciation of 463 using the same since 2017. 463 compared to the nearby comparables. And a very healthy compounded annual growth returns of 4.1% per year. At a dollar per square foot increase since launch of 463. So in short, we see that the mixed-use development as a whole, the data does suggest that they own the nearby properties. So this is something that gives us that confidence why Jayden will do well. Because Jayden is a mixed-use development. And the amazing part, it has a huge retail component than many of the comparables here. So that is something that is very important for us to take note. So besides the potential upside, the next thing that we also want to study is it easy to rent? A question to all of you. Do you think it's easy to rent? If it's easy to rent, right, can you keep a 7? Jayden, being a mixed-use development, do you think it's easy to rent? If not easy to rent, just put 0. Don't be shy, because it's this webinar is supposed to be interactive. Okay? You and me, yes, I also generally feel it is very easy to rent, but I did some analysis using a proxy. I used J Gateway. Do you know where J Gateway is very, very near to Jayden? So using the J Gateway as a guide, generally the 1-bedroom rental, right? Based on the recent transaction, the 1-bedroom rental range is about 4,002 to 4,004. 2-bedroom is about 5,005 to 6,000. See my cursor. The 3-bedroom is 6,005 to 7,350. And the 4-bedroom is 7,300 to 9,700. So looking at some comparison, if you look at the bar chart of this J Gateway, okay, how it reads is on the left, it is the transacted per square foot for J Gateway. Why use J Gateway? Because J Gateway is about 350 meters away from Jayden. It's one of the best proxy. So I use J Gateway. But J Gateway is not truly a mixed use. So using this J Gateway as a proxy, if you look at this comparison to Bedok Residences, Poise Residences, One North, Hillian, something amazing happened. We realized that the achieved per square foot transacted, right, is even higher than some of the mixed use in other areas. So on in-depth analysis, right, we will realize that the potentiality of the rentability in this second CBD is very high. Because of the earlier, remember, the huge employment within that area, the 3,000 multinational companies that's residing there. So it's actually not surprising after you factor in all the qualitative factors within that whole development. So the red bar stands for what? This red bar here, okay, the J gateway, this is the 9.23, the highest achieved transacted per square foot. That is the average 7.05. So even looking at this 7.05 average for J gateway, right, it is superior than the nearby, not nearby, the other area use development. So what we can get from this data is to say that if J gateway already got such a high, strong rental, how about Jayden? Jayden is right smack at the heart of JLD. So this gives us a lot of confidence that Jayden would have also the same performance, high rentability. So as you can see from this perspective here, Jayden is here. Can see the Jayden here. Can see the green color line. The green color line are all the connected lines that Jayden will ultimately be Westgate, connected to integrated transport hub, connected to the JTC Summit, and many other things. So it's right connected all the way to even the Jurong East future integrated transport hub. And this is a covered and elevated pedestrian network. It is a covered. So rain or sun or shine, you don't need to worry, all right? Because it's covered, all right? And you'll be also connected to this Jurong East integrated transport hub. So this shows the huge connectivity. 1 MRT station, 4 MRT line, as you can see from here, all the different color line. So the rentability, 3,000 multinational companies, as well as future 100 new jobs. 100K, 100,000 new jobs. So these are all the potential tenant pool that Jayden will get to benefit. So from all this, yes, we feel that the rentability is very high. So it also means when the rentability is very high, right? The price, what we call the risk level, okay, of Jayden will reduce to the minimum. The perspective here, it is really right smack at the epicenter of the JLD, okay, at the center of or what we call the heart, okay, the heart of JLD, Jurong Lake District. So from these two perspectives, this is from the MRT line, for you to see the different MRT line, well connected. And Jayden, can you see the 3 circle here? From this 3 MRT station, this 3, it is almost right at the center here. It's very, very well connected. So after having had the case studies from a mixed-use development, as well as the rentability, next, why Jayden? One word, rarity. Can you see this picture, ladies and gentlemen? What is this? See if we can interact. What is this? From this perspective here, can anyone tell me what this look like to you? How many of you feel that it's a desert? If it's a desert, can you put a 5 for me so that we continue to be interactive? If you think it's a desert, yes, it's a desert, you're right. Okay, so what is the value of water in a desert? Do you think it's valuable? I mean, we have to scoop it in a desert. Do you think the value of water, is it valuable? If it's valuable, can you put yes? But if it's not valuable, you put no. Is water in a desert valuable? If it's valuable, you put yes. Okay, yes. Someone would say very valuable. Can you do me a favor? Can you all send to everyone so that we learn from everyone? Because still a lot of you actually send to the panelists. So when you send to the panelists, right, you put on the scroll down bar, there's one selection, you send it to everyone. Okay, you send it to everyone so that everyone can benefit. All right. So yes, I also feel water in the desert is valuable. So why is the water valuable? Can somebody type something? Why the water in the desert is precious or valuable? Why is that so? Why is that so? Why is it valuable? Why is it precious? Okay, rare. Yes, you're right. Rare. Okay. I agree with you. It is rare. It is limited. It is scarce. Correct. It is rare. It is scarce. It's limited. Well, why these pictures comes to me? Because I feel, okay, the reason why the water is rare, does it lead to this conclusion? Water in the desert will preserve value. That means the value, the water, the value of the water will continue to be preserved there. There will always be a value for the water because in the context of rarity. In the context of rarity. So, do you think water will continue to be valuable in the context of desert? If the answer is yes, you raise your hand. And not raise your hand, you type yes. Okay. Is water continue to be valuable in a desert context? Okay. Thank you so much for your interaction. I personally feel yes. Okay. It will preserve value. So Jaden, right? I personally feel it is like the water in the desert. Why? Not because I say, because of the facts and figures. We take out the whole of Singapore, the mixed use development that is near integrated transport hub. So if you look at this, the whole of including the latest, the reserve residences, in total, right, there's about 368. This is for Jaden. But if add everything, right, the whole mixed use development that's very near to the integrated transport hub is about 7,197. If we divide it by the whole total stock of Singapore, in short, it is rare. 1.8% only. It's less than 2%. That is that kind of rarity. That's why that analogy is like the water in the desert. If water in the desert can preserve value, there will be a preservation of value for Jaden because it's rarity, it's limited in supply. You see how near it is from this side here, Jaden? Okay, it is like akin to living in an integrated hub because it's so near. Walking distance to the integrated, the future Jurong East integrated transport hub. Not to even mention also with a library. So for parents who wanted your children to cultivate good reading habits, they are very near to the huge Jurong, okay, Jurong Regional Library. So that is that very reason that we feel Jaden, okay, being rare will preserve that value. So Jaden, with a mall at first level, there are 7 commercial units, is connected via the J-Walk to Jurong East MRT as well as the bus interchange in future. Residents is really like enjoying the convenience and accessibility akin to living above an integrated transport hub mixed development. So that very Jaden that we have. And of course, the 7th bullet point I want to share with you, in addition to the rarity, you already know how rare Jaden is and how first mover advantage you have to go into Jaden. The next will be high demand. Are there demands or not? Okay, generally we know there are demands from HDB upgrader who aspire to own a condo. So let's take a look at these numbers. Question, how many flats have reached the MOP this year and the past 2 years? Let's take a look. 10,800 units these past 2 years. We got this huge amount of just NOP unit, the west area, waiting to upgrade into a condominium. So that's 10,000 just this year alone, right? This is where it is. We did a study, and this bubble here, as you can see from here, are going to be the MOP unit we did this year. It comes close to about 3,000. But in total, in the last 3 years, these are the last 3 years MOP unit. There is a potential demand who want to aspire to own a unit in the West. We are talking about 10,800 dwelling units, potentially grading to the commercial. So these are the potential demands. And if you look at the price trend of this HDB, you realize that it's really a good time for potential HDB upgrader to exit and upgrade because they can really sell at their HDB price at a very nice record price currently based on the price trend. And you can see from the volume transaction of $1 million flat transaction this year, 2023, based on analysts, it is tracked to see the highest number of potential $1 million flat transactions. So in all counts, HDB appears to be a good time to exit at a very good price for someone who aspire to go into this unlocking of the existing profit and upgrade into the condominium. You can see that even for a Jurong HDB, already highest achieved price hitting above 1.02 million. And the median price is about 827K. How many of you always got this question? Number 8 point, to buy a resale or to buy a new launch. Do you come across any coffee session with your friend and your friend always asks you, hey, should I buy a resale or should I buy a new launch? So any one of you are being asked this question, or you ask yourself this question, like, don't know. Basically, is the question, do you encounter this question? So this is a common question I encounter when I go for my gathering. So we do a little bit of homework. Buy a resale or a new launch? So this is always the very dilemma question. So let's take a look here. Okay, let's assume a 1,000 square foot unit. It's a real case study, yeah? The decision point is very clear. If I were to bring you back to 2013, bring you back to 2013, there's a price differential between a new launch J Gateway, which is 1,467, and resale price then was 1,006, a differential of 461. How many of you don't look at your neighbors? Anyway, you don't look at your neighbors. Purely based on this fact, at a point in time in 2013, do you buy a resale condo or do you buy new launch? Can you type? Don't need to, there's no right and wrong. Those who buy J Gateway as a new launch, type J Gate. Those who buy resale, you type Mayfair. Let's take a look. Purely based on the information, in 2013, imagine you got money, okay? Resale price is 1,006, 1,006, okay? J Gateway being a new launch is $461 more expensive than resale, okay? So you realize some will buy J Gateway, some will buy resale, right? Some will buy a new launch, some will buy a resale. So let's take a look at the conclusion. Conclusion. This is the time chart. For those who buy Gateway, this particular decision point, this particular guy earns a profit. If you sell now, he earns a 446K for 1,000 square foot unit. For those who buy a resale, also earn 99,000. So one earn 99,000, one earn 446K. Based on this case study, it appears that buying new launch, capital appreciation is higher. If one expire to earn a higher capital appreciation. I just want to bring this because last time when I'm not so into property investment, then I realized want to save money is not so easy. Okay, let's assume a couple earning a 10,000 income. If they are able to save a 15%, 15% considered very, very commendable already. After less all the expenses, meaning 1,005. If this couple wanted to save 446K, this couple needs 25 years. But in property investment is where we can gain that wealth creation without the need of 25 years. So which would you choose? Given the hindsight of all this data. So property, if you do it prudently, okay, it is a wealth creation. All right, it is a wealth creation. So not only that, I'm going to share with you deeper analysis between new launch, BUC stands for building under construction, new launch, versus the resale expense. Let's take a look at the expense. Okay, this is the table. The assumption is very simple. Over the 4 years, we use 4 years because it takes 4 years to build. We look at the new launch first. We are assuming a 75% quantum, 4.5% per year, 4 years construction. So generally the case study here, right, comprises the 30-year loan tenure and 25-year loan tenure of a different quantum price of entering at 1.5 million, 2 million, and 2.5 million. I just want you to focus at my cursor here. Generally, the interest expense for someone who buy a new launch is about 46,000. About 46,000, quite consistent. Okay, 46 to 76K, depending on whether he buy 1.5 million or 2.5 million. So if you use this compared to a resale. A resale unit, what a lot of people didn't realize is when they buy a resale unit using the Apple comparison, also of 4 years, 75% loan tenure, 4.5% per year, you will realize one thing. You, as a resale, someone will have to bear the full brunt of interest expense. So you look at the interest expense, it will comes to a total of 226K to 374K. Because you buy resale, not only you got the full brunt of the interest expense, see my cursor here, you also immediately have to start to pay property tax as well as maintenance fee. So what looks cheap, remember just now that looks cheap may not be cheap. What looks cheap may not be cheap. Remember just now the differential, the per square foot. And not forgetting, buying a resale, right, is already older by how many years? If you are older by 20 years already, that means your lease remaining is only 80 years. Plus, not forgetting, you have to pay a much higher expense compared to a BUC. Remember the BUC earlier is about 40 over 1,000 to 70 over 1,000. But for a resale, it's about 220K to 370K. So let's put this graphically together. So generally, as you can see from the gray color area here, new launch expense divided by resale is about 20%. In short, the expense savings, the savings that one get if you buy new launch, which is not so obvious to the eyes, you will save about 180K to 300K. 180K to 300K, but you get a totally brand new unit. Here, we haven't even factored in the renovation cost. If the resale you buy also need to renovate, that means your expense is even higher. So this is something that this in-depth analysis will show you, at least bring you to the awareness. So how do you read this bar chart? 30-year loan tenure, 25-year loan tenure. This cream color is 1.5 million, pink color is 2 million quantum, and the gray color is 2.5 million quantum. This is, we are referring to the new launch. These are the expenses. On the right, the long bar are the resale expenses for the same assumption of 4 years. So in short, based on case study, right, is 5 times more than a BUC unit, which is unseen to the eyes. But now, because you are savvy, you attended the seminar, you now realize that, oh yeah, this is the cost that cannot be seen unless you really sit down and do the calculation. Okay, you sit down and do the calculation. So generally, as a guide for all the different quantum and also different loan tenure, it is about 5 times more expense than the new launch. BUC stands for building under construction. So now with this high side, resale or new launch, I would say generally if someone who focus on capital appreciation, the data suggests new launch. But for someone who has no choice, definitely must buy a resale immediately because of family needs, then no choice. Okay, then no choice because no choice. But for someone who has the flexibility, then yes. And if the capital appreciation is one of the important factors, then yes. New launch do suggest a higher capital appreciation. Okay, how many of you, now we're moving on to the bullet point number 9, all right? How many of you got this question, or your friend asked you this question? Should I continue to stay in a HDB after 5-year NOP, or should I buy a new launch? Anyone ask you this question? If somebody asked you this question before, or you yourself got this question, can you type a yes? If you got this question, should I continue to stay in HDB, or should I buy a new launch? It's a very, very not easy question, especially if I'm staying in HDB. Thank you so much for everyone. So we actually did analysis. Since we are doing Jayden, right? We did analysis by pulling out the whole Jurong East HDB price index. So should I continue to stay in HDB, or should I buy a new launch? So same thing. We have to move ourselves back in this HDB. So if I were to use the same data point, 2013, okay, after a 5-year MOP, you realize that buying a first BTO earn a little bit of money. As you can see, the 5-year MOP for the 1,000 square foot assumption, it earns about 131K. But at this point, it's a decision point. You saw my cursor here? It's either I continue to stay. So if this guy continues to stay, right, he'll earn a 47K for the next 10 years. For the next 10 years, earn another 47K. But if this guy here, it can be yourself. It can be you. If you so decided to exit, cash out, you get into J Gateway at a point in time, the new launch, you would already sitting in a tidy profit of 446K. So the chart do suggest for those who aspire to create wealth creation, it's like playing a monopoly. Okay, so long you buy prudently, property is one of the tickets to wealth creation. We go deep into the analysis. Third quarter 2013 to third quarter 2023. What is this bar here? The bar shows the 4-room HDB flat and a 5-room HDB flat. 7th floor to 9th floor, 10th floor to 12th floor. This is the capital appreciation after 10 years. If they continue to stay in HDB flat, 49K, 38K. So that is the case study that we find out. So these are the case study. If they continue to generally stay in the HDB, they'll earn about 47K. Still earn, not too bad, after 10 years. But vis-a-vis, if then that decision were to enter into a new launch, of course, must enter prudently, don't overstretch. It is a 446K. So that is that very difference. So the rich, yes, does get richer if they have the flexibility to go into it. Of course, a lot of time also requires one very important factor. I still remember myself and my wife then, because of the transformation story, we almost didn't buy the unit because we almost are being taken over by the fear factor. Because I still remember my wife and myself wanted to buy the property. I think better don't buy. Because why? About to buy, I realized my hand shiver. But luckily, at the very last minute, we still just go for it since we already calculated it's prudent, and really never turn back. So what this story I want to share with you all is sometimes, a lot of times, is also the courage to enter the market. It's not just the intelligence or the analysis that you already have. We are coming to the point number 10. Currently, how many of you feel that the current interest rate is high? If you feel that the current interest rate is high, can you type a high for me? We are coming very closely to the end. Let's take a look. And thank you so much for everyone for being so interactive. Yes, you're right. I'm like you. I also feel that the interest rate is high. Okay, how many feel that interest rate is high, the price will come down? Okay, that means the price, you feel that the price will come down. Okay, if you feel that the price will come down, you press down. If you feel that the price won't come down, you press up. Okay, or you can press don't know, whichever. If you feel that the price will come down because high interest rate, okay, will come down, come up, or maintain. What is your overall feel? Okay, so you realize that there's a combination of up and down. Because some of you actually answer to the panelists again, but never mind. Just remember, go to the selection bar to put to everyone. All right. So I also don't know whether it will come down or come up, frankly speaking. So what I did is I studied the whole interest rate trend. This part, you look at my cursor carefully. So the time series is from 2000 all the way to 2023. Can you see my cursor here? Okay, I just want you all to make sure that you all can see my cursor. If you see my cursor 2000, can you put a yes so that I know that we are on the last common page? If you are able to see my cursor here, I'm pointing the 2000 time series. You put a yes for me. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so see my cursor now carefully. This red color line is the interest rate. Okay, it is the interest rate trend since 2000. You saw this red color line? Focus on the red color line. Okay, this red color line. Okay, let me pull the bar now. This is the red color line. Okay. So this red color line, right? You realize that the interest rate will go up and always come down again. Then it start to go up again. This go up, I call it rise 1. Can you see my cursor here? Rise 1. Because it's beginning to rise. Rise number 1. You rise, and then it become rise peak 1. This is called peak. At the peak already, right? The interest rate start to trend down again. Now, it start to rise again. You see it? Rise again. Peak 2. Rise peak 2. Then come down again. Then this is where we currently is, rise number 3. You saw the pink color bar? All the way rise peak now. Okay, I call it a rise peak 3. So interestingly, you now already know, let me put the bar a bit. Okay, put the bar here. You know the interest rate is the red color one. Now I want you to focus on the blue line now. The blue line. Okay, this blue line is Singapore Property Price Index. From this rise 1, you saw this bubble here, the blue bubble, rise 1 to rise peak 1. The price didn't come down. The price appreciated by 8.6%. The rise 2, meaning the interest rate when it go up, right, to rise peak 2. When the interest rates go up, second data point will show that the price didn't come down. The price continued to trend up 9.9%. And now we are at the rise 3. So based on the 2 earlier data point, when interest rate go up, not necessarily based on the data suggested, not necessarily the price will come down because other factors are at play. So for this rise 3, right, is consistent with the previous data. When the interest rate continue to trend up, right, the price from this rise 1, it is rise 3. This rise 3, you saw this rise 3 to the rise peak now is a capital appreciation of 11.8%. Interest rate go up, price go up. Based on this trend analysis, based on the data, not necessarily it will come down. So we go a little bit more in depth on the next slide. So imagine this particular rise peak 1, because you see the interest rate here, the red color at the very peak, right? At the very peak, the price is actually here, the blue color dot here. If this particular person were to still buy, he buy at this point, this guy, right, would have earned a 72.7% when he hit another interest rate peak 2. And then if you go further up, right, it will increase another 29.8%. So to understand this in a layman term, you look at this 1 million point here. So imagine there's only 2 decisions. If the person at this rise peak 1 decided to buy at 1 million, the same property at 1 million. In short, in this time series, right, the interest rate will always go up and down. But so long this guy were to buy prudently, right, when he hit another rise peak 2, right, this same property based on the property price index, right, would have already appreciated to a value of 1.727 million. And if you continue to hold, right, it will increase to 2.24 million. So if this guy were to enter when the interest rate is high, so long they buy prudently, yes, he gained a capital appreciation of more than 1/million. But if this guy can also choose not to buy any, he can choose to stay, then he will miss the boat. And if you want to enter now, right, you will have to pay a 2.24 million. It's a double whammy. He get to not earn the 1/million, but also have to buy more expensive. So the interest rate versus property analysis, I come to a conclusion, meaning to buy a property, right, the interest rate trending up or coming down, right, may not be the key factor for me to decide. The most important thing is whether at this point in time, okay, it is prudent for me to enter. If it's prudent for me to enter, and based on the other factors that's at play, if I feel that it's overall prudent, I enter already. So that is the analysis from the interest rate property price analysis. And we hope this will give you more data to make a more informed decision. And the point bullet 11, supply analysis. As you can see from this supply analysis, okay, how to read this bar chart here from 2004 all the way to currently 2023 January to September. Okay, the pink color bar is the uncompleted new launch. Okay, this is the uncompleted new launch. All right, this is the year time series. And the gray color bar, right? The gray color bar is the new private residential unit sold. Generally, I do the 5-year average and the 10-year average. Generally, just remember, based on the big data in the past 20 years, right? Generally based on a 5-year average absorption rate. What is the absorption rate? Meaning every year, roughly how many units will be absorbed by the market? Is about 9,007. Based on the 5 years and the 10-year average, is about 9,007 units. 9,700 units will be absorbed by the market. All right, based on this analysis. So, if you go further, generally in the past 2006 all the way to 2013, in the past almost 17 years, okay, there's a few peak 1, peak 2, peak 3. This is the fourth quarter 2008. You saw the 2008. At this point in time, there's about 44,000 unsold units. This is in 2008. How about this one? Number 2, 2011. The 2011 got about 40,000. Here is about 44,000. Here is about 44,000. Here is about 40,000. And the number 3, this number 3 here, this number 3 is 2018, is about 35,000. So 44, 40, and this one is about 35,000. Currently, ladies and gentlemen, you realize we are only at 17,000 unsold units. So even though in the market, sometimes you may communicate, you may have a feel that there's a lot of launches that's coming this year and next year. Yes, you are right. But in the bigger scheme of things, if you look at the whole URA, unsold unit stock, we are actually at a very healthy level. Meaning to say that compared to the past peak, our unsold unit stand at close to about 18,000. So what does that mean? If you pair this with the absorption rate, it takes only 1.8 years, about 2 years, for the whole units to be absorbed by the market. And it's pretty healthy. In a way, it's pretty healthy if you compare to the past peak in 2008, 2011, and 2018, where it needs to take about 3.7 years to 4.5 years for the whole market to absorb. Currently, we only need 2 years to absorb. So are there oversupply? The answer is there's no oversupply. So if there's no oversupply, would the property price drop? So if you buy prudently, you buy early stage of transformation, high rentability, high upside potential, do you enter? So now you have a better data in terms of the supply to help you make a more informed decision. And of course, lastly is the cooling measures. How many of you feel that cooling measures from the government, will make the price of property come down or go up? No right and wrong. That means that there are so many series of cooling measures. How many say that the effect of these cooling measures will make the price up or down? Anyone say up, you put UP. You feel that it's down, you put a D. Okay? And if you think that don't know, you put DK. Don't know. Because also can don't know ma. Thank you so much. I think it's a combination. That's why it makes the market, right? Some put up, some put down, some put DK. Okay? So I'm like you also not too sure. So let's take a look at data. We fall back into the data. So this data, right? There are cooling measures. The question is, should you wait or should you just enter the market? Should you just wait? Let's take a look at the case study. Okay, this is a long time series from 2004 all the way to 2023. Generally, CM stand for the cooling measures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Later we'll show you the details. The date that's before 11 December 2011, right? There's no ABSD, additional bias stamp. Any time period after that, there's a series of cooling measures on the ABSD. So that is that quick summary. So these particular tables, the CM, these are the dates where the cooling measures are being effected. 8 December 2011 is the first set of cooling measures, where the Singaporean, we have to pay a 3% ABSD. So my cursor here. On the 12th January, that's where Singaporean have to pay 7% ABSD. And on the 29th June 2013 is where the TDSR one, we call it a 60% TDSR affected. And on the 2018, right, is where the now not only that the BSD is affected, the BSD for first timer, right, also increased to 4%. It become a 4 plus 12. This is the 4 plus 12%. And the 16 December, this 16 December 2021, the ABSD is about 17%, and so on and so forth. On the 15th February, sorry, this should be 4, okay? This 15 February, right, 2023, the BSD start to increase to 5% and 6%, depending on the quantum. And last but not least, the 27th, the recent one. You realize the ABSD for second timer, right? For second ownership increased to 20%. So this is just to give you the dates, the CM, as well as the ABSD for the Singapore PR as well as the foreigner. Of course, with the latest one being 60%. Now, the most important part is I want to direct you to this bar here. For all the CM1, CM2, CM3, CM4, CM5, CM6, and all the way up to this CM7. Okay? How do we derive all this? It's based on the time series from here. For all the PPI, all right? From this time series here, all right? We translate into this digestible table. At that point in time, we make the CM as a base. So the base is at 1218 per square foot. Let's assume 1,000 square foot property. So it's 1.28. 1.218 million. So if the particular person, when at CM1, he decided to enter the market, that means not waiting. Now, he would earn a profit of close to about 800K, because now it's 2 million. But if this person at CM1 choose to wait, he would miss the boat of earning 800K, plus the fact that now he have to pay a 2 million. This one insight. The second insight is, we realize one interesting fact. Did you realize it's all plus? Plus 12%, plus 4%, plus 5%, plus 7%, plus 19.9, plus 6.6. The effect of cooling measures didn't result in the price drop. The effect is still positive, but a lot more manageable. Imagine with ABSD, with cooling measures, it is still positive. Imagine if it is without. If it is without, what will happen? Imagine no ASD. The price would have shot out the roof. That is what the government don't want. The government wanted to make sure that the effect, the purpose of cooling measures is to make the property market sustainable. So this is the case study that we find out the effect. So now, given this insight, you realize that should I wait? Should I wait? Or should I enter? If the past data will reflect in the future, should you wait or should you enter? So this is something that now, with a more informed decision, you will realize you can make a more prudent decision. And last but not least, what is the right pricing for Jayden? How many of you have an idea about a right pricing of Jayden? Let's take a look at this Jayden, a second CBD at the early stage of transformation. Let's take a look at the recent launches, the City Fringe, Grand Diamond, also near to the MRT. The highest achieved price is already 2,008 for a 16th floor. Lowest floor, 2,618. One is a first floor unit. The reserve achieved transacted is about 2,873. The lowest floor is 4th floor, transacted on the 26th May 2023. The reserve. This is a mixed development at the we call it City Fringe. How about the Blossom by the Park? Already a 2,730 per square foot at the 26th floor, and the lowest floor is 19th floor at above 2,654. And last but not least, Pine Trio, not so near the MRT, but also achieved above 2,007, a City Fringe, And then the lowest floor unit is 2006, which is 18th floor. And our Jayden is a second CBD location, integrate, we call it a mixed use development, okay, and well connected to the 3 mega mall. So what could be a good right pricing for Jayden? Looking at all these transactions. As you can see, these are all the transactions. These are the gray color are referring to the lower floor unit already hitting above 2,600 per square foot. This is the 9th floor unit, 2,641. That is the reserve. High Tree Hill, 21st floor, 18th floor, 21st floor, above 2006, 2007. The one is not so near MRT. It's a city fringe as well. And Blossom by the Park, most of the units are all above. As you can see from here, a lot of the units are above transacted. These are not all the asking, these are all the transacted above 2006, 2007. Blossom by the Park. Last but not least, Grand Diamond, as low as 5th floor, 2006, 1st floor, 2618, 8th floor, 2608, and so on. So, looking at Jayden, looking at the Jayden as a second CBD at the heart of Jurong Lake District, looking at the data, it suggests that any price below 2006 and below, any price for a majestic tower of the 40th floor, we feel it is a right buy. If you hold for long term, all right? If you hold for long term, based purely on transacted per square foot. As you can see, 1st floor already 2006. High Tree Hill, not near the 18th floor already 2006. And reserve, yes, mixed development city fringe near MRT. 4th floor already 2006. Jayden, award-winning team, right smack at the heart of the JLD, second CBD. Any price below 2006, we feel it is the right buy. If it is, but you have to make sure you do your sums properly, okay, to do it prudently. So in short, the 12 compelling reason, it is by award-winning team, developer, architect, landscape consultant, and builder. And of course, the product itself is already slated to win the Green Mark Platinum Award. A lot of good thoughts are being put into the design concept by the award-winning architects and developer. And you already saw the transformation story from the URA. And if you believe the effect for transformation is a price capital appreciation, based on the case study, it do suggest you are entering at early stage and you have that advantage. And looking into the case study of purely just the potential upside of mixed use development, it does show that there's a superior return for mixed use and also vis-a-vis the comparables that are nearby. Are there high rentability using the property of a J gateway? It shows that it's very high rentability due to the natural big tenant pool and based on the transacted per square foot rental data. And rarity, based on the facts and figures of the number of units that's very nearby to the integrated transport hub, you realize Jayden is like the water in the desert, very rare. And if you look deep into the vicinity, yes, it appears and suggests that the 10,800 MOP unit within the whole west area, there's a huge underlying demand for those potential HDB upgrader who want to upgrade to a, we call it private condominium. And we also do look deep into whether one should buy a resale or new launch. Based on the case studies, if someone have the flexibility to buy a new launch and capital appreciation is a principal consideration, new launch suggested a higher capital appreciation. And also, having had that scenario, we also realize the insight of the hidden higher expense cost that will result from resale over the 4 years, based on the different quantum, 1.5, 2 million, and 2.5 million on the different loan tenure. But resale, can it be a buy? Yes, if the person don't really care about capital appreciation, but also have this important needs of wanting to stay in the resale unit, then go for the resale. But for someone who wanted to create wealth, property wealth creation, new launch does suggest a higher capital appreciation. And how about staying in the HDB after MOP or upgrade the new launch? It's suggested going into the new launch does have a higher capital appreciation. So if exit, unlock profit is prudent for you to enter the private, and if capital appreciation is the most important for you to create a wealth, then yes, this will become a viable option for one who aspire to build wealth. And we also get to know the high interest rate relation or association with price. So based on the long time series of the rise 1, rise 2, rise 3, it does suggest that the price stand up. So there are other factors at play. So conclusion is, so long it is prudent for one to enter. Why is that so? Because if not, may lose the boat. Why is that so? Because there are really other factors at play. Like in the context of Jayden, you already know entering at early stage of the transformation, rarity, high rentability, mixed use, etc., etc. So the key is to be prudent. And effects of cool measures also showed that the main purpose of the government is really to cool the market. It's not to crash the property price. It's to cool the market. And looking at the recent transacted prices of Grand Diamond near to MRT, Blossom, mixed development, Reserve, also a mixed development. Looking at the transaction and also Pine Tree Hill that is not near the MRT, we realize that any price below 2006 for Jayden appears to be the right buy, because even some of the low floor units at this city fringe development and even Pine Tree Hill that's not near the MRT already hitting above 2006. Whereas for Jayden, it is a second CBD and it's right smack at the JLD. It's an epicenter or the heart of Jurong Lake District transformation. So I hope today it is fruitful for all of you, and thank you so much for your attention. And yes, thank you so much. We have come to this end of this webinar, and really thank you so much for your time. And I can see so many of you still stay all the way throughout in this seminar. Thank you so much. And I hope today I've added value to all of you. Welcome, welcome. So pass back to Pei Wen.
Thank you, Ryner. As we come to the end of this insightful seminar with Ryner Koh, we hope that you have gained a wealth of knowledge and inspiration to carry on into your financial and investment journeys. We want to express our gratitude to Ryner for sharing his expertise and experience with us today. We also like to thank each other of you, our valuable attendees, for your active participation and engagement. For future events and continual learning opportunity, please stay connected with our ERA advisor and our upcoming seminars. We look forward to seeing you again, and until then, take the valuable insights you gained today and put them into action. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you for being part of this enriching session. Goodbye and take care.